Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am the Grand Cat and today we are going to pro a whole bunch of cards and Team Ring Domination is going to be up in 5.5 hours, and if you want to get yourself an unhinged Bailey, you can come along and join my team and you'll be guaranteed to get that unhinged Bailey. All you need to do is join my Discord, which you can find in the description of this video. Once you get in there, just say, "Hi, I'm a fan of Grand Cat and I would like to join your team," and someone will get you into the team. And if you get in within the next 5.5 hours, you'll be guaranteed to get an unhinged Bailey from Team Ring Domination, and that will surely help you out with the rest of your deck. Now, let's get into the matter. We have ourselves the Premier NXT Blake Monroe, the AEW former Mariah May. We also have, surprisingly, an F3 of the superhero Axiom that we're going to make. And we also have our double heroic Ron the Truth Killings that we're going to see. And of course I do have a Shawn Michaels, but he's not up to his level 100 yet. And of course I am currently training up an Adriana Rizzo as well. So that is something that will come along a little bit later and might not even get a video. We also have a whole bunch of Battle Pass cards. We're going to claim all of these. We're going to claim everything all the way right down to level 14, it seems. We're going to see what all of that looks like. But first, let's get on with the proing of the cards. And we are going to start with our pro double heroic Run the Truth Killings. This is only our second double heroic from Unhinged tier. And it's very, very cool indeed. And I think we're going to use this one of Ron Cena. I think that is fitting considering the feud that he had right before he went from R-Truth to Ron Killings, and now has seemingly went back to R-Truth. But now, let us go ahead. They both have their 100 matches, and they're both at level 100. You will notice that they're both missing their 10 variants. You do not need to max out the variants in order to get a perfect pro. In fact, you can get the variants after you've made the pro, and it works out all the same. So let's go ahead and combine our pro Ron the Truth Killings. And there he is. There is our double heroic Ron Killings with all of his pro animation as well. And that, once he gets fully maxed out with his with all his variants and his full level and his matches, that should be just as powerful, if not more powerful, than our double heroic Carrying Cross, which is currently our strongest card. Next up, let's go ahead and pro the wonderful former Mariah May, current Blake Monroe of NXT in this NXT Premier. And I really like these Premier cards. We had a similar one for Aleister Black and Rusev. Rusev was the Raw one, Aleister Black was the SmackDown one, and now we have an NXT one of Blake Monroe. And I wonder if this is a theme that WWE Supercard is going to continue doing. Whenever someone debuts, they're going to get a Premier card that's going to be a special edition that everyone will be able to grab and get hold of. That could be what happens. Also, both of these were pulled off of the regular draft board. I think you can get up to one a day. I'm not entirely sure on that, but I was quite thankful that I managed to get a pro and quite pleased. So let's go ahead and see what the pro animation looks like. And there we are. There is our Blake Monroe. The pro animation doesn't really have an awful lot different going on with it. There's not an awful lot of special animation or such, but it is very nice to have that brand new, unique Blake Monroe. Also, I did have the variants maxed out. When you've got both variants maxed out, when you make the pro, you'll get half of the current variants. So her variants, I believe it was Charisma matches that you had to win, and we got 10 on each. So that means that the pro is going to require 10, but because we've got 10 on both of them, the new pro now comes with 5 of those variants. So it really doesn't matter whether you get the variants before or after you make the pro. If you get them before the pro, it basically gives you half of what the variants are. So in my opinion, it's better to just get the variants after the pro is done, but if you can get them beforehand, why not? And last up on the cutting board today, on our chopping board, we're going to make a pro of Saturday Night Slam Masters 2, the Scorpion, otherwise known as the superhero version of Axiom. And if you've seen my previous videos, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about, because Axiom looks exactly like the character who was, I think he was the end boss of Saturday Night Slam Masters 1, and he was one of the subsequent main villains of Saturday Night Slam Masters 2, along with someone who is very unapologetically supposed to be an iteration of Hulk Hogan. And it also features Mike Hagar from Final Fight series. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead and make the pro of our superhero Axiom. I don't know what the pro animation is going to look like, or if there even will be one, but I'm very excited to see it, so let's go ahead and combine. I want to make sure that we're combining with the correct one. That's the one with the level 100 and the 100 matches, and also the variant maxed out. And there we are, there's the pro variant. Ah, okay. So it's got a little bit of movement to him. It kind of reminds me of the Dungeons and Dropkicks cards, the little special animations. So this is pretty nice. I'm wondering what they're planning to do with the other superstars. I get the feeling that because this one gave you a Seth freaking Rollins, that we might see a Seth Rollins coming up at some point soon in one of the other superhero tiers. I'm not entirely sure, but that is just what I suspect. And there he is. And of course, this one, oh, he's got a Starp animation as well. That Starp animation is crazy. Axiom being like the Flash over here. That is pretty cool. I must say, I did not expect to see that. And as you can see, because we maxed out the two variants, the variant does now have 5 of 10. So again, you can get the variants before or you can get the variants after, it doesn't matter. And we're going to just take these 3 and we're going to use them to fortify our Axiom. Another question that people ask me is, when do you fortify, and do you have to train up or do you have to level up the cards that you're going to use to fortify? The answer is no. Basically, the fortify only unlocks these little bits down here. And basically each one of these is the equivalent of giving it an additional 5 levels. So instead of the max level being 105, it goes to 110. If you're on F2, it's 115. And if you're on F3, it goes to 120. And that will, of course, make the card significantly stronger. So let's go ahead and fortify. And there we are. There is the fortification up to F1. And you won't see the benefits of it until we get them to max level. So that will take a little while. There we go, there's F2, and we're going to fortify into F3. And then once we get him fully leveled, all the way up to F3, we get him as 100 matches, and we get him all of his variants. That is going to be a pretty powerful little card, I sincerely think. And well, there we go, folks. I'm going to work on getting the Pro Shawn Michaels a little bit later. Oh, before we go, I'm going to go ahead and claim all of these battle passes. So we're just going to go ahead and grab all of them all at once. So let's just claim all and see exactly what we get from all of this. We have 26 packs. There's a Valor train up. 50 super coins. Another 75 super coins. We're going to get a lot of super coins from this. Shinsuke Nakamura and Randy Orton Royal Rumble cards. 100 super coins. 100 credits. 10 draft picks. WrestleMania 41 train up. A dual Xavier Woods. 150 super coins. An unhinged train up plus. Another 100 credits, not super coins. Very different. 25 draft picks, that means we've got 35 draft picks now. There is our AJ Styles with the championship over his shoulder. That is a new card discovered, of course. 100 credits. Alpha, train up, and a train up plus. 15 bronze tokens. 200 credits. And the phenomenal one card back. I was about to call it sleeves. But also that most people don't understand this. Most people think that it's PI. It's supposed to stand for Phenomenal One. So it's basically what he's been using since TNA, the Phenomenal One AJ Styles, and that is a P1, not PI. 5 Pro Crystals, 10 Silver Tokens, a WrestleMania 41 Train Up Plus, a Train Up Plus, and an Akira Toyozawa, 5 Gold Fusion Tokens, 200 credits. Oh, we managed to pass 30,000 credits again. The AJ Styles Phenomenal One gloves. And a Miss Elizabeth and a Dominic Mysterio. So that is very, very cool. We are going to go ahead and lock down all of our enhancements so that we can use them whenever we want. We are, of course, certainly going to lock down the unhinged Phenomenal One gloves, which are going to be a speed benefit, but gives an extra 17,896 speed if you give them to AJ Styles. And I don't think we need to keep anything else. I think the rest of it is all fine. So there we are. And we're going to go ahead and keep the rest of that. And that is now going to be it for this little video, folks. I really hope that you have all enjoyed. And if you did enjoy it, please give me a like, share, and subscribe. And if you are subscribed, make sure you click that notification icon so that you can see when more of these glorious little videos go out. And we shall see you all in the next video. Goodbye, everybody.